Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of 10 Forward Weekly. My name is Mike Vadum. I am also known as Ambassador Kel, and I am your community manager. And please welcome to sitting to my left and also hundreds of miles away, it's Thomas, lead ship and UI artist Thomas Maroney, and concept artist Hector Ortiz. Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing today? How's the world of not going outside treating you? It is. We built my daughter a playset in the backyard, so that's been most of my life now because she just wants to go outside and run up and down that slide every day, all the time. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah. Sweet. All right. So what we're doing here this week, we are going through the 4 ships that were designed by Nick, Christian, Jesse, and myself. Sizer, I'm really glad to hear that. That's awesome. Congratulations. Sorry, one of our fans, she had to put up a GoFundMe because she was living out of a homeless shelter, and so she's coming through now. Are we not hearing Hector? Uh-oh, we're not hearing Hector. Okay. Yeah, but the fans are saying they can't hear you, which is a problem. All right, you can hear Thomas though. Okay. Let's figure that out real quick. Just a moment. I'm just going to swap back to... You guys will still be able to hear us, but I'm just going to swap back to the starting screen so you don't have to watch me mess with my settings forever. Okay, no, I don't need noise suppression. That's fine. Voice and video. Let's turn up the output device speakers here. Does that help? Hector, say stuff. Hector? Okay, say stuff. Can see if they can hear you now. Thomas, you talk too. Nobody can hear Thomas either. Oh, I think I got it. Yeah, you guys are under Media Source 2, not desktop audio, which should all be working now. Nope. Okay, people still can't hear you guys. Why is that? Come on. Oh, because I'm not getting the audio from this. Okay, if I go here, talk for me, guys. Can you guys hear him now? Just tell me if you can hear me now. Hear him now. I thought I had all of this fixed. That's not it. Okay, so there's some reason why desktop audio isn't hearing this. Just a moment. Okay. Settings. Okay. Can you guys hear him now?
Can you hear us now? Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
They're on such a delay, and I turned up the music to fix you guys. Hold on, we'll get past that in a second. Say stuff, guys.
Hello.
Yeah, it looks
Hello.
like you're showing up on my desktop audio thing now, so I had to mess with some stuff.
It's loud and not in a metal
Yeah,
way.
unfortunately, I've already navigated away from that, but I can't fix it in the past.
No, I just thought that was a funny comment. You can hear a very quiet Hector. Give it a minute.
I can't fix the past.
All right, Hector. What do you think? So you're looking at those ships. You're gonna start with Nick's.
Okay, everyone can hear you guys.
Yes.
Huzzah!
Hooray!
All right.
All right. So back to what we were talking about. We are going to be doing some taking Hector's beautiful artistic talents and putting them to bear on the things that we made with our pencils and our papers. The glorious, wonderful things. So with that in mind, they're both way louder than me now. That's fine. I can fix that. With that in mind, Hector, why don't you talk us through a little bit of what the process is going to be like today?
All right. I'm just checking out the sketches. Usually, what we're gonna do is that. Usually, what I do is I start with referencing. Right. I start looking for language or what something to grab to. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna just start with the sketches, and then later in the process, I'm gonna start looking for references, and then mixing those with the whatever product we do. So we're gonna start with top views, which is usually the view that sells the ship right away, and then from there we're gonna start doing details here and there, so we know that this top view actually works, and then we keep on going. All the ships are gonna have different ways of to be done, honestly, because I can see the sketches and we're gonna have to tackle them independently.
Okay.
They're all pretty different. They all came at it from
in different ways.
Yeah, we sure did. Which is actually great because I was a little worried we were all going to draw the same ship. So it's good to see. It's good to see we've got 4 different concepts to work with. Okay, cool. Well, then why don't we open the first one and get started there? You want to turn on your Photoshop screen share?
All right. Give me 1 second. Screen share, and here we go. All right. Let's go with Christian, right? Let's go with the Christian one.
I thought you were starting with Nick.
Well, Nick. All right, let's start with Nick. So this is Nick's 3/4 ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is Nick's 3/4 ship.
All right, let me see. This is the Nick's 3/4. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open a new document here. As you guys can see, I have tons of actions here, ready to go. I'm just gonna click here, boop, and that's gonna open a document with a gray background and 200. DPI, more or less. I don't remember. I did this years ago.
Nice.
So that's like 4 actions that I don't have to do.
Yeah. So, Thomas tried to teach me the magic of scripts once. I sort of got it.
Yes, it's great. It's a great way to streamline. Look at this guy right here in the corner.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's nobody there. Yeah, I had to get Nick's images are on the streaming computer, which I didn't have access to until today, and so I guess I could have gotten them from there, but I instead just grabbed screen grabs from YouTube.
That's fine. It's fine. This is what they should do.
Modern problems require modern solutions.
Yep.
That's. I see what you guys did here. Okay.
Yeah, so the one on the left is a little bit earlier in the video. They're both from right near the end. The one on the right is the image that Nick picked out as like, okay, this is the image I would show the ship off with, but I wanted to give him a second angle of said finished ship, just because the rest of us had multiple angles as well.
It's all right. 3/4 will do. So what we're gonna do is let's see what. Sorry?
Oh no, sorry. Somebody in chat was asking if I could make your screen any bigger. If somebody knows how to do that in Discord, let me know. I've got it as oh wait, it might be. We might be way past in time. I don't know how long the stream delay is. So hopefully I made it big enough. Anyway, continue with what you're doing.
So what we're gonna do first is gonna pick the parts we really like. I don't know, Thomas. I'm thinking about this guy right here. This is like a deflector, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this, I guess, this is like something interesting we can put. I don't know what can we put there, like a phaser or some sensor or something. Is that what we're gonna do? All right, see. So,
and I would say the little arms. I think they were meant to be. You know how modern research ships have cranes.
what these guys?
Yeah. I think those are probably important too.
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
Okay, so those are not engines like oh my god, let's put the warp engine here. Blah, blah,
no,
blah.
I think
That's
the actual idea Nick had was that it might even have energy beams connecting the bottoms as like to like complete the half ring, but we did a lot of experimenting with rings and ended up sort of here.
Like underneath, something like that, some
Yeah.
arcs.
Yeah.
Okay, we can try something like that. Let's see. No promises, but we can do that. Let's try. That's what we're gonna do. This is a conversation we're having here.
Despoiler
Nothing final.
98 wants to know why the ship has fins. Because Nick thought they looked cool. That is the first step of ship design. Does it look cool? Great, we're doing it.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes, if you make a ship, let's be honest. I always say at the office that the day UFOs come to this planet, it's not gonna be an interesting shape. I bet you it's gonna be like a cylinder or a cube or something or a sphere, and everybody's gonna panic because the Borg are here, and it's gonna be incredible. It's gonna be a memorable day. Yeah. But anyway, so what we're gonna do here, guys, is we're gonna first set up the vertical line. This is gonna tell me what goes here and goes here, and you'll see why. We do the center line, and we try to imagine this ship from the top. Let's imagine this goes there, right? And then what we're gonna do is gonna split this thing right here. What we're gonna do quickly is to try to block the geometry, right? So let's assume that this goes like this. We still haven't done any detail. See, this is too much detail already. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna break this shape into something like this. Let's break it like that, because then this line is gonna be like that. Although it's not very clear in Nick's design, we can tell that that's gonna be troublesome at the end. So part of my job is trying to figure out problems for production.
Now, why would that be a troublesome? Out of curiosity,
it's the thing is that when you do a ship, it has to be really clear from many angles, right? You see this curve right here, how it blends softly into nothing and suddenly it blends here.
Yeah.
See, this part right here can be troublesome in certain angles. So I can keep the smoothness, but now I have to invent something that tells me that this smoothness is actually there. I have to inform it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is really straight. Now I have to say that this smoothness here has to be seen as somehow. I cannot. Sometimes you just allow the light of the things of the stars or whatever on the game to showcase the shapes, but sometimes you have to fortify them, reinforce them. All right.
Got it.
So let me see Nick's design again. Okay, I see we have two prongs back. Let's see. Okay. Let's make it into something. What we're gonna do, well, we want some kind of cohesion in the lines. What we're gonna do is we're gonna copy and paste this line right here. I'm gonna put it right there.
Okay.
So now they both share the same curve language. It's important to be cohesive in these things. It's important to be cohesive. That's why another thing that happens when you do something like that is that at the end, the lines look like they belong to each other. Okay. So you can see this part right here doesn't exist in this sketch, but I had to make it interesting.
Yeah.
Beyond something that we can actually use at the end of the day.
Sure.
So what's happening now is that
Mir Wrangler wants to know what tablet you're using.
I'm using a Cintiq. Wacom Cintiq 21X. This is really old, but it works.
It's a monitor with pressure pen sensitivity built into it.
Oh, nice! One of those big ones.
I can draw in my screen.
That's awesome.
It. So, all right, let's keep going. Now I can see that there's a circle there, right? Let's see if does that circle fit. I don't know. What we're gonna do? I made a new layer. Let me get rid of this extras, whatever. And I have another action that creates ellipses.
Oh, neat.
So I just make the selection, F12, it creates that thickness. F11, boop, creates this one. See, I don't have to do the ellipses all over again.
How many hours would you say you spend making scripts for Photoshop?
Not quite. These actions are done quickly. It's not that complex. And I do them as I go. Sometimes. Oh, we got a cat.
Oh, you guys can hear that?
Yeah, we heard that for sure. You have a loud kitty.
Oh no.
All right. I see that something interesting might be going on there because we had these two lines there, right? Let's try to replicate that. Now, how do we do
so
that?
the Sovereign 42 says you could have a career in ASMR, Hector. That your voice is very handsome.
Oh, well, awesome.
One thing that we can talk about a little bit is we are planning on doing more art streams like this in the future. We're still fixing up when and how that's going to happen, but it is something we're definitely looking into, and Thomas is really passionate about. So
I'm really pumped about that. I know art streams are really popular on Twitch in general. I remember when they launched it and they had Bob Ross going for like a week.
oh god, that was so good.
It was so good. So
Bob Ross is so damn relaxing.
I really hope we can do some of this stuff. We don't want to spoil everything we're working on, but we've got some exciting stuff that it would be fun to share with you. The process of how we make it.
Yeah.
I feel like Hector could be the Bob Ross of Starships.
For sure.
All right. Remember what I told you guys about the, recycling the lines?
Yep.
We recycle everything. See how that line goes there? Now I'm gonna reuse it because I want this to. It's almost like a volume that you want to a beat that you want to replicate everywhere else.
Okay, that's really cool. So even though you're changing
It's like
the angle,
poetry.
you're
It
using...
rhymes.
Hey.
Yeah. It's something that you want to replicate a little bit, and that's gonna help you a lot, quite a lot. You see. Let's replicate again. Boom, another line.
You want to come up?
But I can see. I can see that we're gonna.
Kitty too? Nope. Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
What?
I was talking to my cat. Sorry. Continue.
Everybody has cats here, huh?
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, horrible people. So, so what we're gonna do? We're gonna try to imagine this thing right here from the top. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put an indentation there, like this. Is it gonna work at the to the very end? I don't know. Many things I do, they just end up being in the garbage can, you know.
Yeah.
Most of mine.
We're coming up on the. I mean, we started a little late.
Yeah,
so
we started.
We're gonna try to keep
each one to about half an hour. Yeah.
Right.
I would say with all the tech issues we had and such, it probably would be better to say like 5:10, 5:15 to call it on this one. But
cool. I just wanted to
just let me know. Just let me know.
Yeah, for sure. So you've got about 25 minutes left on this one?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
We can knock it. It's more or less. This is more like an approximation.
Yeah.
Right.
It's an approximation of what we're gonna do. Now, as you can see, we do this all the time. We do. Oh wait, this is throwing me off. We do 1/2, replicate, flip, put back.
Okay. Why did you delete half and then replicate and do it again? Just to get the lines exact?
Because the shape is divided in the center.
Okay.
And this side is exactly the same as the other side. And that's also lazy points. So you do 1/2 and that's it. This is a good way to clarify shapes early on and so you don't have to work all the shape. You have to draw so much.
And it looks like you're using an older version of Photoshop. In the current version, they actually have a built-in symmetry tool. Finally,
they have a symmetry tool which I don't use because many times I jump from copy paste and when I copy paste using that, it doesn't translate it doesn't reflect it.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't. No, I'm sorry.
Weird.
No, it just I can erase and everything, but if I copy and paste, it just doesn't translate. So let's imagine these things right here, right? Let's imagine that these guys are gonna be.
There we go. Hey, Shulk. Say hi to the nice people on stream.
let's imagine these things are gonna be there, right? And then these are. Let's imagine that this ship, if this is pointing forward, let's imagine that these things, instead of being like this, they're gonna be like this.
Ooh,
To keep
yeah.
to have a bit more. Well, the thing is that if it goes that like in this direction, and we do this, the ship is now aggressive. If we do it like this, the ship is now fast. You see what I mean? So this is gonna add.
Rhizo, we probably want to lean towards fast rather than aggressive. I would say.
So we tilt it just a little bit. Maybe we can have the front one static like that, and the back one tilted a little bit like that, so it has some stability.
Yeah, that sounds great. I was laughing because my cat stuck his face in the camera.
I'll have to catch that on the. I can't, for whatever reason, I can't see you in Discord, Mike.
Yeah, it's because I'm on OBS, and OBS is using my web camera. What I did last time was shared OBS with you guys, and that worked. But oh right, this is all a mess. No, we're not doing that. Back to full screen.
So what I'm trying to do quickly here, guys, is it's figuring out how this ship can be made, and then we're gonna try to do a quick 3/4 version, just a little bit, so we can actually say, this is actually something we can do.
Yeah. Apologies, folks, for the popcorn crunching. I thought the mic filtered that out, so never mind. I'll eat this popcorn later when it's cold.
And this is gonna be something like this, I guess, and it's gonna pick a little bit like that, which is gonna add something interesting to see in this negative space right there. Let's assume that. I don't know. Maybe we go to the 3D blocking phase and we decide, this looks like garbage. Let's not do that. It has happened. It happens all the time. And now we flip again. At this point, if you notice, I haven't even put the fins or anything like that, because it's still not important. I'm trying to figure out the big picture, the big picture problems.
You're starting when spaceship design is a lot like designing a logo or a cartoon character. You need to think in terms of the silhouette. You need to be able to, if this everything we were looking at, if it was solid black, you would still want to be able to recognize exactly what ship you're looking at.
Yeah. So we're gonna transform there. You usually leave this one shape there, like the original one, and then you put this one right here.
So that way you can go back to the start and fix it.
You can always go. Yeah, that way as you start doing this thing, you start generating shapes to work with. You start generating a tool library. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a mark here, because then when we flip, I know exactly what's the center.
Oh, that's really smart. I would never have thought of that.
Yeah, and then we block here. And that's our top view, more or less.
That's really cool. All right. Do you want to try and spend, 10 or 15 doing a different view of the ship, or do you want to call that one done where it is?
Nah, let's try to make a quick 3/4.
Okay.
The thing about the 3/4 is that it's not necessarily gonna be a 1-by-1 representation of this one, because making 3/4 it takes much longer than that. That's why I try to go. That's why I try to go to 3D to do 3/4, because it's a pain, brother. It's a pain.
Yeah.
So
I'm the first. For those of you who watched the previous design stream, I tried to draw in 3/4 first, like a fool.
Let's say it's an advanced skill.
Drawing is just shapes, but some shapes are harder than others.
Oh my god! Yeah. All right, let's go. Loser, like way loser, like this. Like there's nothing.
Neon Blader, if you're just joining us, this is we're for the past 4 weeks have been doing having different non-artists in to do sketches and designs of a Rysian science ship for the summer ship. Now we have all 4 of those, and our concept artist, Hector Ortiz, who's the one drawing right now, is... man, that's amazing how quick you made that look pretty. Sorry. Is turning these ships into actual, like, brief concept designs that you guys will then vote which one you want to be your summer ship. Q Collins says the casual competence with which Hector does this is just awe-inspiring to those of us who couldn't do this to save our lives. I agree wholeheartedly.
Well, that happens when you do this thing like I don't know how many hours a day and for years. So
Yeah.
Right.
that tends to happen.
Drawing is just shapes and lots of practice.
Ooh, oh my god, I'm pain and
They say that it takes like 10,000 hours to be an expert in something.
Yeah.
that guy was lying. Takes a bit more.
Yeah, I feel like I've
That's what
spent
I think
10,000
people who-
hours painting Warhammer miniatures, and I'm not an expert.
I thought I was okay at drawing until I shared an office with a concept artist, and then I sort of realized that concept artists are, major league ball players of the art, like of the art world. Like
Yeah.
No.
they've been doing it for so long that they're so good at it that they're in the top 0.2% or 0.1%.
Oh,
of
shut
people on
up.
the planet.
Well, I mean, if you just we can't obviously tell you guys anything about it, but if you just look at the art that the Magic concept team is cranking out like on the daily, it's just like, God, I would poster my whole house with this.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
No, that's how it is. It's just the amount of and every concept we every ship we send out. Oh, remember this guy right here? Okay, now this is gonna solve this problem right there. Suddenly looks like a really fast.
It
Boat.
does. That does look really, really fast. It looks like that. There's that ship that you can rent on the by the Golden Gate Bridge. That's like
Oh, I'll be
designed to
there.
be the super fast boat. Like
Dude, I've been there. This is super fast, man. It's no joke. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, see this attachment? This can be problematic. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attach it from below. Just a little bit from below. That's gonna add some dimension to the ship. It's gonna be a bit of a meter of this area right here, but here. And then I'm gonna pump this thing right there. Whoop! Then
Nice.
this one.
So that's a repetition is a really important principle.
Repetition,
in
that's
art,
right.
And
I imagine, especially in spaceships.
Oh,
well, just anything you're designing, you want
Yeah.
repeated elements. It gives you scale, it gives you cohesion, it gives you intention.
Yeah.
Um,
and here I had to make a decision. Where do I put my energy? On this side or this side? Which one is more important? I think it's the inside of this thing. So I'm gonna put the energy down here. So,
Okay, bye, Silk.
because the thing is that we're gonna give this thing to 3D artist, and this is more like a demo piece, guys. Oh, and I'm drawing in the wrong layer, and it happened.
Red alert.
Oh no!
The thing is that I want to draw this in a separate layer, just because. Yeah, man, I've been known to spend hours in a painting or something, and to say, okay, let me try that version that I wanted to. No. Suddenly, I realized I'm painting in a flat layer on
Yeah.
top of everything. So now versions are not possible. I had to redraw everything.
Oh,
That's
God.
when
That's the
when I
worst.
run to IT guys. Hey guys, I need a backup. I need a backup now. Okay, we're gonna put this thing right there, and then we're gonna clone that thing over there, and just gonna skew a little bit and
Oh
minimize.
yeah. Oh, that's pretty.
So, and that's it. And then what we're gonna do now that we have this area right here. Wait, where are you? Let's not.
Q Cullen, you're goddamn right. My cat is named after a character from the Belgariad. Favorite book series. Sorry, continue.
All right. I'm gonna copy this thing right here. This is an important layer, so I'm gonna tag it. Right. This is my top.
Ah.
So what I'm gonna do is just group this every layer right here. Are we good on time?
Yeah, you got 10 minutes still.
That's perfect. So more or less perspective, because perspective.
Farktoid wants to know what the maximum number of layers you've had active in Photoshop at one time is.
Millions. Everything I need. There's no, as long as my computer holds. As you can see, these guys they do not align perfectly in perspective. I don't care. What I want to see, it's a more or less like an idea.
Yeah. What is it? It's got to be an interesting process as a concept artist to, like, you spend all of this time designing something, and then your job is to hand it off for someone else to make.
It's super weird, man. It's super weird, and the thing is that is the critique. It's like 90% of the things I do is rejection. It gets rejected.
Yeah.
So
most of what Hector does, nobody will ever see.
Yeah,
that's right.
Well, I remember that. I remember with a lot of the times that I'll look at what you're working on your desk. It's like that top down drawing that you did for this ship, but it's 10 million of them. So that all the different art people like Bill and stuff can look at, and Thomas can look at it and go, I like number 37 and number 38.
Yep.
Okay, let's move forward on those.
Let's mix them, or let's pick that one that Hector really hates. That's the one. That's the ship. That's why
that's the job of art leads, is to pick the things that we don't like to do.
Oh my god! So what we're gonna do quickly, since we don't have tons of time.
I'm here on the call.
Oh my god! No, you have no idea how many times I'm like, yeah, but no, do not choose that one. Damn it!
Hector Mesotius wants to know if you think it's too late to get back into the art world and try and pursue a career in it. If you're a little late to the starting line, he says he's 30 years old.
You are 30 years old. All right, let me. Imagine you are 80 years old, right? Imagine you have 80 years. And you're going to think, oh man, I remember that time when I was 30 that I thought I was too old to do anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Suddenly when you're 80 and you think like that, you're like, oh man, I was stupid that time. Just do it. All right? The thing is that you have to consider the amount of time you have to invest to get into any arts discipline. This is not joke. That job you want, there's another guy in China working really hard to get it from you. Or here in the United States or whatever. Everybody wants your job. And you know what? If we have a guy, then we have a guy from Colombia that
oh my God.
He used to live in Georgia. We brought him. If we want the guy or the girl, whatever, we just bring them. So you have to think globally when it comes to do this, and you have to establish a strategy to properly know how to control your time, and a strategy to control how you're gonna do this thing. Do you have a family? Can you actually do this? You have to talk to your significant other and figure it out. Yes, this is something we can do, and it depends what you want to sacrifice. It's like life has magic. I don't know if you know that. In life you can do many things, but it all comes down to what are you willing to sacrifice.
Yep.
Yeah, and if you want to do art professionally, there are a couple key mental tools you need, which is you need to strike a balance between never giving up but also being kind of hard on yourself.
Yes.
The best artists that I know are always a little hard on themselves, but not to the point where they succumb to despair. But there's always got to be a motivation for growth and be like, I could have done that just a little bit better, because next time you do it a little bit better, and that's how you get to the point where you're one of the best.
And really, really important, never compare yourself to other people.
Yeah.
That road leads to nothing. Yeah. All right? What you're going to do is you're going to compare yourself to yourself yesterday. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna see your pictures yesterday, and you're gonna be like, "Am I better than yesterday?" That's all you need to care about. That's it.
Got it.
Nature's gonna take its own course from there.
The one thing I would add on to that too is if you want to get into art, don't feel like you have to get into art professionally. Like there's this weird cultural thing we have in this country where everybody kind of feels like if you're not making money doing it and getting famous, you're not doing anything worthwhile with it. Like you can pursue getting better at art just for your love of art, and that is equally valid.
Right. That's right. You don't have to be a professional, man. I mean, this weird mentality. That's right. I'm not gonna invite people to my house because I cannot cook like a chef. That kind of mentality that has to stop, man. For real. Let's fail. Let's fail every now and then. That's how you grow in this society. You have to fail and learn from it. So have fun. Have fun. This is supposed to be fun at the end of the day. So that's it. That's all I had to say about that. Like that dude from Forrest Gump.
People in chat are talking about how you're laying down truth bombs, and somebody said you were Kenobi level chill AF. I agree. Hector is a very smart man.
You have to. No, but that's the thing. I've seen stuff. And I've seen people despair, and this is a marathon. This is not like speed, you know. Yeah. Usually in stuff like this, many people are gonna be faster than you. People are gonna have the head start. Absolutely gonna have the head start. But if you stay in the race for the longer, you're gonna get the reward, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Sovereign 42, you're right. Not everyone can be Gordon Ramsay, but it is okay to be the idiot sandwich.
It's fine, man. It's fine. Have fun. See how this thing here doesn't align with this thing here completely? I don't care. This is just an idea.
And speaking of not a race, 3 minutes left, Hector.
All right. 3 minutes. Oh my god. I feel like in that Gordon Ramsay show actually now.
Farmer John 42. This is wildly off topic, but I like the Malorian, just not as much as I like the Belgariad. Continue. Let's talk ships some more.
I thought they were misspelling Mandalorian.
No, if you haven't read David Eddings, Thomas, you would really, really like the Belgariad. It is exactly your kind of fantasy series. It's it's clearly like an attempt at like a Tolkien-esque high fantasy, but it's got a much more like found family, friends kind of gently teasing each other aesthetic that you and I both love.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds good.
I love it. I made annotations on top of the layer.
Nice.
Yeah.
God, that's a really pretty ship. I mean, Nick's design was great, but man, that is really cool what you've made already.
So this is a good starting conversation. If you can see, I'm not even erasing completely the. I can leave it like this, but now it looks wrong. But if you leave the underlying idea, now it looks more complete. All right. I'm gonna put it on the side.
Let's move on to the next ship. So next on the list, I believe, is Christian. And now we're out of sweet 3D renders and into all of our pencil scratchings.
That's all right. That's all right. Let's make this into a smart object. We're going to just leave it there. And you know what? When I noticed, we haven't saved.
Ooh.
I remember I was working on something, and this is back when I was working the web team. And I had a coworker come and look at something, and he's like, "Yeah, this looks fine, but it makes me nervous that you haven't saved anything yet." And it's like, "Oh, yeah, we're looking at Untitled 2. Don't worry, all the real work is being done in Untitled 4."
Yeah. So we're gonna not save this guy, not save that guy. All right. This works.
Fate
who'd you
Maker,
say?
Fate Maker 80. Just because I've seen you ask that question 3 or 4 times, we're not going to answer that question on the stream tonight. We're talking about this stuff, but thanks for the question.
So which one are we talking now?
Christian is next.
Christian. Okay, Christian gave us 2 views. We have the side and we have a top. Right? That informs a little bit more of the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gigantic. The first thing we're gonna do is get rid of these guys and this guy.
Beard of Borg, I love the idea of a winter vanity shield that covers the ship in snow and Christmas lights. Thomas, get on that. I control your schedule. That's how that works, right?
I don't know. That might be a little over the top.
Might be a little too
shields.
IP breaking, yeah. Unless we ever do like a winter TFO, a winter space TFO.
Something to figure out first. This ship is clearly going that way, right?
Yes,
Now,
that's right.
this thing is the up.
Yep.
Is it
Yep.
the up?
That is the up.
So this is like a dome.
Yep.
It is. It's a
Alright.
science ball.
It's a science ball. Science balls never fail, man. All right.
As Slender wants a wood panel vanity shield, like a 60s beach station wagon, Thomas. Just putting those ideas in your head. You know, something fun for you to wrap on and work with later.
At that scale, you would need some pretty big vinyl for it to read.
So what we're gonna do? We're gonna make a folder and we're gonna label it.
I saw Mervyn Glout ask about if we can kit bash between the 4 designs. No, when we do this, we really only have time to build one of them.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna make the one.
But if something's like stupid popular, I mean, we have a plan already for next year's summer ship. But if something's stupid popular, we might do it for 2022 or something. You know, we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, for right now, just the one ship.
But even that, like looking at all of these, they don't really have enough in common to build them off the same skeleton.
No.
If we did build more than one of them, they would be completely separate ships.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this guy has the nose is round, right? But it repeats way too much this center thing. So I decided to break it at the front.
That reminds me of like the PVY Catalina or the like those old seaplanes, which I really like.
Yeah, that's
Catalina, man, yeah.
I think everybody approached the idea of science ship a little differently, which is nice. But you're right, it definitely has that kind of feel to it.
Farctoid, there's a hotkey in Photoshop that lets you draw straight lines.
Yeah, it's just shift, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Hector could draw a perfectly straight line faster and better than any of us, but he's not doing it right now.
No.
There's a myth that, I don't know if it was Michelangelo or Leonardo or somebody, one of the great Renaissance painters, won a contract to do, the Sistine Chapel or something by just painting a perfect circle, like with one like fluid hand motion.
That's great. There's a some YouTube channel I was watching that was having a perfect circle challenge.
You can do it. You can do it. All you have to do is rotate the surface and leave the wrist. That's what we all do.
Oh, that's almost like a woodworking way of doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we're doing here is
it's like grumpy old Nord Catalina Psi mixer.
So what we're doing here is trying to sit this gigantic sphere that is going on there, right? We had to find a way to properly sit it. So we're gonna do.
Because you need transitions to offer a flow between these two very different shapes.
Yeah.
So this thing is that if we look at this from the side view, now it's gonna look like this part right here is this right here. So right now it's gonna look like that, cut, bubble. That's the X-ray version of what's going on right here.
Right.
That's cool.
So I had to keep thinking about these things when I'm doing this. So
we should do a cutaway of one of our ships. We have time for that, right, Thomas?
Yeah, totally.
Yep.
Oh God, those things were so cool. I wish I wish there were more of them, and then they were easier to make.
Yeah, that's a tremendous amount of effort.
The cutaways. Oh boy.
Yeah, you have to play. It's worse than a what's that thing called? The thing that Tim makes a ton of.
MSDs.
MSDs. Thank you.
I know a guy. I know the guy who makes the cutaways for Star Wars books. He lives in Germany right now. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's great. Also, a shout out to Sovereign. Wait, was it? I think it was Sovereign 42, the Sovereign 42 for the Ghostbusters 2 reference.
Also, shout out to Cthulhu, who has correctly identified that it was Giotto who drew a perfect circle.
Oh, cool.
For the Pope, I guess.
Awesome. Thanks for looking up that story.
Yeah. Mesotius, there is one of the 4 designs that has a full-on small miniature beach inside a dome in it. I'm not going to spoil whose design it was, but he has 2 thumbs.
That's right.
Bye, Terry. Thanks for stopping by.
Yep.
Now we do this thing. We put it right there, and that's going to be our... We cut there.
Ooh, excuse me.
It's all right. I do that all the time. So we cut that thing there. And this is extra level of detail for what I usually do at this point, because this is supposed to be the really raw sketch. But hey, we're having fun here.
Yeah.
So I assume that this ship is gonna be more or less like that. And we had to reinforce this gigantic circle. We had to reinforce it again. How do we do that, you say?
How do we do that, Hector? Tell us.
How do we do that?
I need to know.
I know. There you go. We do it like this. So.
Yeah, that actually really plays in the boat. I've seen speedboats and stuff that have that kind of
arc to them.
Ledge coming off the bow.
Yeah, but it cannot end up here in the center. It has to be either here or here.
Right.
That's the catch. La la la. Then we do this thing here. We do that because then what we're gonna do at the end, we're gonna recycle this line. Remember what I told you about the recycle?
Yeah. I remember.
We recycle that. We put it here and here.
Oh, dude.
Now we have windows there. See?
That's really cool.
We have windows there suddenly. Let's see how it goes. Let me lock this guy. Let's do the first pass of flipping.
Flip it. Flip it good.
The flipping. This is when we start to know if we're doing the actual good thing. And this is actually working.
That's actually really cool looking. It looks very Cylon, but I think it's just because it's from the top.
It looks like a Cylon? That's perfect.
Chatty, get off your brother. Chatty. Right. 1 second.
What's going on?
He's letting him go.
Is that the cat or the kid?
The cat.
I don't know. And this is what...
Okay, guys, we're throwing everything out. Mesoteus has had a perfect idea. We're going to make all 4 ships, and we're going to combine them into a Voltron ship.
Wouldn't that be a thing?
I want a USS Tiberius. I want it. I need it. That was the Transformer crossover ship, for those of you who may not know, the one that turned from the Enterprise into a super awesome robot.
I was kind of bummed at that they didn't make it like a lady Transformer, because the Enterprise has been so often characterized as female, which I know is silly, but it's also just kind of how Kirk is always looked at it that way, right?
Yeah.
So
Thomas, Transformer toys are for boys with muscles. Yeah, no, I agree with you. And there are too few lady Transformers as it is.
Exactly, yeah.
All right,
what are we doing now here, Hector?
I don't know, trying to make this work. but it's not working. Why not? Okay,
Why don't we, if we're kind of at an impasse with the circles, we can move on to the back, kind of resolve some of the stuff going on with the back of the ship.
That's what's happening right now.
Okay, cool.
Fabulous.
Because that circle controls the whole comp.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to figure out how to bleed back into the.
It's a really strong shape that I had to fit inside this thing. So you see this guy, how the thing goes there?
Yeah.
We had to. This is why it extends this down there, because then what we're gonna do.
Ooh. Ah. Mesoteus, yeah, there was a Transformers Star Trek comic that IDW did that the ship appears in. It's a crossover between the 80s Transformers and the Star Trek animated series.
Because why not?
Because why not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was tonally, it was perfect to combine Transformers with the animated series and like style the characters like that.
Yeah.
And then we do this thing right there, because that shape is too big. This shape right here is too big, so we had to segment it. And it has to be done as soon
I think that's negative space, right?
What part?
The part you just outlined, the like trapezoid looking part. I think that's the armpit for the nacelles.
Oh, I think that was. No, I think those are engines that Christian drew.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, there's some engines there.
Yeah.
There's some engine action, and then let's cut this thing. No, let's make a copy, just in case we don't like the result. We just have a copy.
Everybody in chat is asking us to make Mega Maid from Spaceballs. Listen, if we ever get a chance to do a ship from a different what's the word? A different IP in our game, there's a long list that we'll get to before Mega Maid.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas has some picks that he's been fighting for years.
I've got dibs on the NSC Protector.
Oh man,
from
that
Galaxy
would be so cool. Let's see.
So smart guys, these guys keep appearing.
All right, you got about 20 minutes left, Hector.
Yeah, we good.
Yeah.
So.
Me Maranglout, yes, there is also the two X-Men Star Trek crossovers. There's the comic, and then there's the really fun and very silly book that crosses over Next Generation with the 90s X-Men and involves Storm and Picard hooking up, and just Worf and Wolverine in a... It's not technically a flirting scene, but it's the two of them fighting in the holodeck. You make of it what you will.
Worf, the worst Klingon ever.
Yeah. I still very distinctly remember there's a line from that scene where, they dispatch the enemies super quickly, and Wolverine, or Worf tells the holodeck to turn it up to level 11. And Wolverine makes fun of him for having it on level 10 the whole time. And he's like, no, that was level 1. And then they're in a fight scene for like 2 hours.
So we have that. And then let's go with a little bit of organic, because we already have a bunch of technical parts here in engine stuff,
Yeah.
So let's go a bit more organic here. Let's
that sounds good.
Some
it's already got a duck beak, so...
Mm-hmm. There you go. So I take it this is like an engine, right?
Yeah, that's in the cell.
Yeah.
Okay, it shouldn't look exactly like a Federation one. Do we want them straight? Do we want the banana kind? So I think it solves itself.
Yeah. All right. I was gonna say I think the idea was kind of looking like pontoons for like a hoverboat, but. Make of that what you will. FateMaker80, we did make a social post that sort of put the Elon Musk space Corvette into STO canon when that happened.
Although I don't think we could actually put it in the game because it's a trademark design, right?
Like, yeah, we couldn't actually.
It's like Tesla IP, so we couldn't just throw it into STO if we wanted.
Yeah, because we were talking about that at the time. We were like, oh, let's just have it floating outside our space dock, like once a year or something.
Yeah,
like
look at this. Look at this business.
Oh, that looks so pretty. Look at that flow. Look at that gorgeous flow.
I imagine that in the future, once we have spaceships, we're gonna be all this crap we're sending to space it's gonna be like tourist attractions. Let's go to see Voyager. Let's go and see.
Yeah.
And you have the ship, and you're gonna fly on top of Voyager. You're gonna open a hatch, and the Voyager is gonna be inside the ship, and you're gonna be flying at the same speed. And everybody's gonna be like, "Oh my god!"
There was a really cool moment in Enterprise where they're flying over the surface of Mars and they fly past a monument to one of the old Mars rovers.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. I wish they did more of that in the Enterprise because it's just a really neat continuity between our world and the Star Trek world.
I would love for more sci-fi to have like the big established IPs like Star Trek, to have those, like, you don't have to do them in the big movies and TV shows, but to have more of those moments of, like, stuff that makes the universe feel lived in.
Yeah,
yes,
totally. That's my favorite stuff. That's one thing I think The Expanse does really well. Is
the books too.
Universe.
Expanse is something else, man. That's
someday I will get past the first episode. I read the first couple of books, but
Expanse is something. I love it.
I think you would really like. I wonder actually if you just watched the third season, if you would even need. You might need to see but the third season of The Expanse is phenomenal. It's
it's amazing. I might not need it because I've read some of the books. I don't know how far the first season gets. God damn, Hector, that's pretty. Holy crap.
Yeah.
I hope Christian is watching right now to see the magic you've made with his. Okay, good.
All right, guys, what is this?
That's a propeller.
Yeah,
No.
I don't want it to be an actual propeller.
No, but it's a space propeller. It's a
right. Yeah, let's figure out something sciencey to do with it.
Thomas, bring it.
It's a not bioneural. That's something else. It's a let's see.
I mean,
God,
I can
what's it?
I can do it if.
No, you know what? It's a God, what the heck is his name? Why can't I remember the theory of everything?
Hawking?
Yeah, it's a Hawking particle collector.
Suddenly, this thing goes like that.
About 10 minutes left, Hector.
Yeah, this one was a bit more complex too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Instead of going from a 3D render by a professional artist, you're going from a scratch drawing by one of us noobs. the other
Christian
two are
says the nacelles are insane, so he's really happy with it.
Oh, where's he chatting with you?
Teams.
Okay.
He might be in Twitch too, but I don't.
This thing you know what? Let's do something. What we're gonna do? We're gonna copy this thing, and then we're gonna. Yep.
Bubba Hotep, can you guys add real world things to your game, like real astronomy things? There are a lot of real astronomy things in our game. If you want to be more specific, I might be able to help you better with that. But
Voice.
oh, Mimber Ranglot's got a cool idea for the back: a stowed sensor array that can come out and back in.
Yeah, somebody mentioned the spinny bit from the jellyfish in the Abrams movie.
The jellyfish wiggly drive. That's a good technical term, Cthulhu.
Jelly drive.
The jelly drive.
Offspring, jelly drive. Jelly drive, offspring. This is a really interesting ship design.
The thing is, this gigantic sphere.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably get away with squishing it a tiny bit, right?
The thing is that we had the base, right? We had the footprint, but it might not necessarily be the whole thing a sphere. Maybe
Right.
the sphere can be. Oh, I deleted my center line. No. Okay, let's make it back again. Center line is important.
Yes.
So maybe the sphere goes like this.
You're right. Yeah.
Maybe down here, or maybe the front.
Yeah.
We don't have to completely.
Right.
Let's leave it like that, and then to have more repetition, we have these guys right here, right?
Yep.
Again, any of these might not go to the final stage.
Oh, sure, but we're people are going to be voting on the idea, and then we're going to make it very clear that stuff might change.
That's the nature of the beast, man.
Yep.
That's it.
Sure is.
Never fall in love with design. It's like when you go to art school, people are like defending their designs like their life depends on. No, kill it.
Yeah, you can't. Can't.
Kill it with fire.
Christian says he's watching him sketch the ship, and now he wants the ship in game. Well, bud, if the people vote for it, we will give the people what they want.
It's funny when you see, right? Sometimes you see the raw idea, and you're not that positive. Oh my god, that ship might not actually work, but suddenly you start making a detail here and there, and yeah, that's actually starting to work. No, that didn't work. But what we can do to continue the original shape is like, we can do this. Now we have 2 layers. Layers are important in spaceships. Otherwise, they look kind of fake. They look like toys in space.
Toys in space.
I watched that movie.
One of the things I always notice when I'm modeling a ship based on a studio model versus like based on a CG model, how much easier it is to make the ship based on the actual physical studio model look real, because it was real.
Yeah,
like it was.
So there were things they had to think about when they were building it that were
right.
physical.
Like it was a physical thing, and so there was a minimum thickness to everything. There was a weight to everything that you don't necessarily get when you're doing something based on like a CG model from reference from some of the newer shows.
Yeah.
So yeah, this ship is a bit more complex. How long do we have?
You still got about 8 minutes. So if you want to try to flip something up in 8 minutes, you can.
Okay, let me try to pump a little bit the side view. Let me try to match this thing a little bit to this. This thing has 2 spheres, and we're gonna do first thing is we're gonna make another folder. Let's colorize it. And we're gonna flip the whole thing.
Do we already have a Ryzian badge in game, Thomas? Chad is asking.
There's a cannon symbol for Ryza.
Okay.
I don't think we have a badge. I don't think we have it as a badge, but it does. There is a cannon symbol for it.
Yeah. Well, we learned recently we can add any kind of badge to the game. All we have to do is have someone design it 9 years ago and then never put it in.
Right? Easy.
How did that even happen? I'd never even heard of it until Weston brought it up. Did we they were sitting on a drive somewhere?
No, I mean they were in the game. They were already. I think they were already mostly implemented. And I remember when they were made. It's just one of those things. Somebody does it, and then whoever's pet project it was leaves the game before it actually gets released, and so people forget about it. And then until somebody like Weston remembers and says, "Okay, let's do it. I'll do whatever you need to do to get it out there." So
yeah. I had a bunch. Chad is yelling at you to save, Hector.
The what?
Chad is yelling at you to save.
See, this guy knows. Save us, Nick. What's the name again?
Christian.
It happens. It happens. See. Then let's put this thing a little lower.
And I think whatever the chat votes on, I'll actually be the one modeling this. Kind of excited about that.
Nice.
Me.
Oh, you're modeling. Nice.
Very nice.
And then we're gonna make this more elegant. Kind of mimicking that thing over there. Whoop.
Yep. There it is.
As Solender says, hidden in the STO source code is the meaning of life and everything. Then you'll never find it.
All right,
Not unless your name is Keith or Travis.
Let's see what happens when we put the sphere. And it's gonna be about this tall. It's not gonna be as tall as originally intended. It's gonna be like this. And then this, we're gonna use it here again.
Nice.
This is a really cool way of doing this. All the tricks you've learned in your life, Hector.
Yeah, it's we do what we can, buddy. All right.
It's like that story. You've heard that story of the guy who went on to repair a factory or a train or something, and he figures out what the problem is. He hammers his wrench on a pipe, and then goes, "Okay, that'll be $5,000." And the foreman's like, $5,000? It took you like 5 minutes to fix it.
Oh
like,
boy.
Yeah, it's $5 for the minute it took to fix it, and then the $4,999 for the 20 years it took me to know exactly where to hit my wrench.
Yeah. It's like all those people who reach out to artists on Twitter and are like, "You should make me stuff for free," and I'm like, "No, buddy, no." If it was easy to do this thing Hector is doing right now, we all would do it. It is not.
Right.
This is gonna be more or less. It's gonna be thinner.
Tabby, no. Tabby.
Thinner.
Thank you.
And then we're gonna be like this, or like a how you call the pontoon? Okay.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I don't know. I never done this before.
They're bent down a little bit. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Can be like this. Can be like that. I don't know. Let's leave it as is. And then,
of the two, this one has some of the visual language of the other Rising ships in it. The other one, it doesn't. There wasn't much in it that connected it to
previous Rysian ships.
Yeah, previous. I would say there's some in this that does. Mainly the the kind of the keel.
Yeah.
The bow.
Everybody in chat is going, "Do it for exposure." I've got one of my favorite cosplayers cut out the letters of exposure and put them on a plate just to capture it. I can't even.
People die of exposure in the desert.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want exposure, you can come to my apartment. I'll cough on you.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Wait, Thomas, do you have the coronavirus?
I don't know.
You have to say it like that. It's very important.
A lot of people think that California might have gotten it late last year. I don't know if that's
dude.
Cryptic. A lot of people in Cryptic were sick.
Yes, I was about to tell you that. I was telling that to my wife.
Yeah, I had the worst cold I've ever had a couple of months ago, but I don't know. I don't know.
I was telling my wife about one cold that I had that it just didn't want to die. It stayed forever. I was like, "What is this?" I remember I one of those coffee water cooler conversation was like I keep getting sick. This thing just doesn't go away.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things. I mean, I think there is a way they can because science, I think there's a way for them to test for that, and I think they're working on it.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they come up with.
We're
Dude,
just
so-
sort of
so-
discovering how this whole thing works as we go, which is unfortunate.
It's ridiculous. That thing is ridiculous. How incredibly resilient it is.
Yeah. I really like the structure lines that are left behind on the front of the ship. Yeah, okay, you're keeping them good because that really gives it a cutting through the water kind of feel.
Yeah.
Let me check your time. Oh, we're out of time, Hector. So finish inking.
It's okay. We got the idea.
All right. God, that's
I think
pretty.
Hector. I think he'll spend some time cleaning these up, before we put them up to vote.
Okay, I'm putting them up next week, so
Okay.
don't
cool.
spend much time.
I think we're Hector just finished a ship that he was working on, so probably can spend the rest of this week cleaning these up and getting them ready for people to vote on.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the next thing. Okay, I'm gonna keep this thing here.
Great.
Yeah, what you guys have seen here is like the super compressed version of what takes usually days or
Right,
a day
yeah.
or something.
For
So
sure.
I'm saving this, Chris. Okay, I think that ship was, yeah. All right.
All right, let's move on to Jesse's ship because that was the third one we made.
Jesse.
Jesse's ship has got it going. Nip.
This is wait. This is a PDF.
It is a
Open with-
PDF. Yeah, he saved it as a PDF.
Okay, let me 1 second. Revering Explorer.
Bob
Okay,
Bear, yes, this is a science ship. This is a Rysian science ship. It will be this year's summer ship. One of the 4 will be. And you will choose.
You will choose.
Choose. Yeah, so Jesse's given us more angles than anybody else to show off.
Got it. He has this. It looks like a smaller ship. We had to do something about that. Rasterize, and then we kill that white.
Whoa! Magic.
Magic.
So I'm pretty sure that there is a negative space inside this one.
There is, yeah, in between
guy?
the two. Yep,
Yeah, that's negative space.
All right.
it is for sure
That's
negative
it.
space.
All right. Let's keep going with our regular shenanigan. We're gonna do this thing, right? And since this ship is a bit,
Me
Okay,
and
see.
Randglout, no, nobody took the Oberth as an idea for design number 2 because the Oberth is an ugly ship. he said just to
beautiful
anger
ship,
Thomas,
but
just to anger Thomas.
Nobody took. I don't think that was.
okay, this is the basic shape right here.
Sovereign 42, it's unlikely there'll be any new games for Ryza this year. Maybe if there's a crazy amount of time we suddenly find under a couch, but with everything going on and us all figuring out working from home, it doesn't seem likely.
All right, science balls, right? This goes.
Sorcerer 21B says this looks kind of like a Akira class, Thomas. I know that's one of your favorites.
Yeah, Akira. I really like the Akira. It's a good design. It also came out in First Contact. Which we're celebrating right now.
Yeah, it sure did. Got that real pretty shot of it firing torpedoes.
It's a good ship.
It's a good ship.
I know a lot of players like it.
Yeah, I hear that.
This is a solar array. Oh, I see. Okay, I get it
Okay.
now.
Bubba Hotep says Oberth is the best looking ship in all of Star Trek and he'll die on that hill. Whoa, buddy.
Okay,
Whoa.
listen, guys, I got to turn off my camera because one of my cats just took a really big poop in the litter box in here, and it smells so bad. I'm gonna clean out the litter box right now.
Okay.
So I'll be right back.
We'll see you in a second.
Oh man, that's brutal.
That is brutal. All right. So
Okay, I see.
talk us through your thought process here, Hector.
All right, so I'm trying to come up with the curve to do this thing, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is I'm using the angle of the wrist to do stuff like that. That's why I had to invert the shape,
Right.
because now I can do this kind of motion, which is really hard to do
The other way. Yeah.
the other way because it goes arrest. You always use the wrist,
That makes
Let's
sense.
let's make it simple. And then this is a really long shape with no interruption, no variation, and we're gonna have to create it. So what we're gonna do is more or less like that, right?
Yep.
And then we are gonna create that interest there, which is gonna be meter, because apparently there's a deflector thing going on there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna meter that shape, and that's gonna allow us to make a deflector here.
Oh, that's
I had
really
to
cool.
I had to change the size of the deflector, because the size of the deflector is a good way to stay the size of the ship. If the deflector is too big,
It'll make the whole
then
ship look small.
is exactly.
Got
So
it.
we had to be careful of that. Now, do we want to show some of that side from the top? Yeah, I think we do. So it doesn't look from the front. It doesn't look like that. It's
Yeah.
more like this, more elegant. So we can have
Yeah.
the sun casts light here and not there. You always have to think about how the light is gonna cast on top of the ship. So, which means that this guy. My God, how many cats poop his stomach cleaning?
All of it. All of the poop.
Oh my God. Thomas doesn't know about his slave to toxoplasmosis. It's like, he's gonna be the crazy cat guy.
Have you ever heard of a band called the Double Clicks?
The double what?
The Double Clicks. They're one of my favorite bands, but they have a
No.
a song called "Hanging Out with Cats at Parties." That's one of the lyrics. We're all slowly getting toxoplasmosis.
Oh my God. Mind controls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
it's-
daughter is actually in their latest music video because they put out a call for submissions, so she's got a kind of featured part in there. If you look up "Cats and Netflix 2020" on YouTube, you'll find her.
Yes. Usually that's what I do. Cat videos. Oh, see, accidents
that's-
happen.
Yeah, but hey, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, that's many times that happens. You know, the happy accident.
Yeah.
You have to let. That. How about like that? More variation in the shape instead of being straight up. Let's not vary. Let's not do so much variations. Not yet.
Yes.
We mix the layers. Do. Oh. Okay.
Okay, so that's how you're doing the deflector. You're adding a couple of lines there.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah, it's a trick to make. That's why you're gonna see that many.
Uh-oh, Double Thomas is back.
Oh no!
All the way across the sky. What does it mean?
Oh no!
What happened? Another crap?
No, Thomases. We just got two Thomases.
Oh,
His image is broken in half. I don't know why.
You had the funky
Okay,
thing.
nobody needs to see my face. I'm just gonna turn my camera.
No, we need to see your face, Thomas. Keep your
Okay.
face there. Keep your faces there.
Man, that's a weird bug you have, man.
That is weird.
It was fine earlier. Like I was
Yeah.
actually like it worked.
No, it's your cat doing this. It's working against you. What are we gonna do?
It's black magic. It's
Yeah,
all the cats
the thing
need to know.
the thing we having right now is that we have this elegant shape, like round shape, which is not repeating here in this really angular thing. So we had to meter it somehow.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's really cool.
like this. And oh my God, I got scared for a second.
It's all gone.
Which reminds me,
Save,
whose drawing is this? This is Jesse.
Jesse. Yeah. Yep.
All right.
This is Cthulhu. You're right. It is a transporter accident. You're looking right now at Thomas Maroney and William Maroney.
It's well, my middle name's Joseph, so it would be Thomas Maroney and Joseph Maroney.
That's very true, but that doesn't work as well with the joke that I made. So,
Oh, alright.
you and your
Well, you're-
exacting slavish need to Star Trek canon.
You're a Joseph, huh? I had no idea, buddy.
Joseph, Pharaoh's number 2. Sorry.
All right, so let me see how can I integrate these things.
Stu
Well, we got-
1701 says now we need to take bets on which Thomas will go join the Maquis. I I've seen Thomas get upset before. I think he's actually more of a McKee person than a.
It's this one.
Oh, it's like a mirror image too, huh?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Well, no, I put both hands up. I think
you did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait.
Then what's going on?
There we go.
High five! Hold on, I'm gonna high five both of Thomas's hands. Thomas, help me out here. You're leaving me hanging.
Oh, I can't see you though. I can't. I can only see you.
High five down with both your hands.
Okay.
We did it.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
You're like Barrett in the FF7 remake. That da 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 da. It's hilarious.
That's funny. Someday I'll play that game, maybe.
I mean, when you're ready, like, don't feel forced, because then you just won't like it.
Just won't like it. Yeah, I've been Final Fantasy VII, Hector. Yeah,
I did once, and yeah, it's like growing up again because it takes so long.
I really like the remake though. I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. I've been playing a ton of Horizon Zero Dawn for the first time.
Oh my god,
that game is
that's something else. That's a piece of art, man.
Yeah, I discovered the trick to me enjoying myself in that game, and that trick is easy mode.
It has so many mechanics that, you know what, I can spend the whole thing talking about that game because it's just something else.
It's really
all right. How can I integrate these shapes?
Yes, integrate the shapes, Hector.
Integrate. All right, let's see.
Thomas has now leaned fully into one image.
Now we're getting into Ferengi territory.
Yeah, that is a little, or you know, a weird Klingon. I can actually see that being the shape of a Discovery Klingon ship.
Hector, would it help if you had a? Well, go ahead, Mike. And then
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if you had part of the boom going back, clamp onto the top of the fin there.
1 second. Let me merge these guys.
What you're doing there is good too.
The two science balls look like eyes, and so it kind of looks like we're looking at a dude with a fancy space collar right now. Hello, friends. It is me, the Rysian science ship, and my fancy space collar. Farktoid, your Animal Crossers are right here. Don't worry, we've been playing the hell out of that game too, or at least I have. I don't know if Thomas and Hector have.
Animal Cross?
Yeah.
Crossing? Nah. Doom team.
But they're not teams. They're best friends.
Same team,
Isabel and Doom Guy are dating, basically.
Doom Eternal forever. All right, let's do the shape thing. One second.
Let me see how much time we're at. Okay, you've got about 7 minutes left.
All right. This shape is a bit more challenging because the contrast shapes I had to reconcile it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna invert this thing because this is gonna reveal what the problem is.
Okay. Show us the problem.
Looks like an anchor. Okay. This is the moment when we start doing.
Wait, sorry, Hector. 13 minutes, not 3 minutes, or not 17 minutes, not 7 minutes. I misdid the math.
What if the blade on back isn't curved, Hector? What if it has, facets kind of at the same general size of what you've got on the front?
Okay, let me see.
Now, talk to me about the problem you guys are trying to solve here. Is it just that you don't like these shapes, or?
It's the thing is that we have. Let me show you. The thing is that we have these two visual languages. We have the curve and we have the straight. if you notice that here, going to the original sketch because that's what we're doing. We have a curve that goes like this, creating this tension here and this tension here, right? But the thing is that that curve is not reflected anywhere in the shape because everything is angles. And since this is one piece and this is another piece, it creates a disconnection, a style disconnection. So I'm trying to reconcile both styles. I had to pick take a little bit of this and a little bit of this and integrate. These two can integrate easily with design-wise. All I had to do is merge these two like this.
Got it.
Right, that's the easy part. Something like that. But I had to choose now how to do that without it looking like a shuttle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tama, you were saying something, man.
I was saying, taking the crescent at the back, making it more made up of like facets instead of big curves. The other thing I thought might help was having the booms that come back from the front of the ship, having part of that actually clamp on top of the crescent, so that so it's not just like sitting on top of the.
That is putting us in the Akira territory.
Mm-hmm.
That's the issue that I have.
Well, it can stay mostly underneath the crescent, but just have a little piece.
All right,
that
we
is
can try that.
Right.
We can try that. Okay, let me solve this problem right here. So what we're gonna do? So you want some? Okay, it goes like this.
I'm just suggesting
like
as a possible that might help.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It goes something like this. Thinking in 3D takes a lot of brain processing.
Galaxy brain.
Yeah, it's a lot of brain RAM. The good thing about this that we can do this thing here, and we suddenly have an engine placement.
Yep.
Okay, you might be into something here, because then
this whole discussion is making me wonder if there could be some kind of something we could do for the game that like creates a game of telephone, you know, like where one person starts a design, the next person works on it, the next person works on it, so whatever it is complete.
That's kind of what we do in some ways.
It's true.
Just by natural process development, right?
Between that's very true.
Hector making the design, and then the ship artist modeling it, and then the effects artist making the effects, and or the systems designer designing the stats. You know, we all have kind of attack it at different points, and QAing it and everything.
That's right. Sometimes I'm doing this thing, and suddenly the idea comes out. Oh, how about if this thing animates? I'm like, okay, let's see. Let's ask Weston and see if he has time.
Let's ask Weston how much time he has. Oh my God, Weston's office is on fire.
And actually, one of the things that now that we're doing, having a bit angular, like, I want those science balls to actually be like the Star Destroyer, like geodesic kind of domes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because now that we're edging things out a bit, like that might be kind of cool.
All right. So, wait 1 second.
In Max, we call it a geosphere. That was
Boom! Let's steal it right now.
Yay!
I used that as a inspiration for the material on the Kittimer. I used the triangles on the Epcot thing.
The spaceship Earth.
Yeah.
So what we're doing here is putting this and leaving it here so we don't forget about it in the future. Because I don't want to draw all these things, but I like the detail. And I want to be reminded eventually of this thing.
It looks a little bit like a disco ball.
But also it's gonna look like a fly eye or insect eye.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful. Okay, let's make it into a multiply so it's a bit subdued.
Stu1701, that's a great idea. He's asking if what if the science balls glowed? But that's not really the stage in the process we're in. I think that's actually one of the later stages after all the modeling's done, figuring out what parts of the ship are shiny or glowy or stuff.
Yeah, I mean it can be when Hector's concepting something and he's doing the final like paint.
Yeah.
Final illustration. He'll add some glows and stuff.
Yeah, that usually left for the very. Okay, let's tie these two. Like there's a bridge or something. This go rear and boom, we got something very interesting.
Hector is really good at his job because I think this is turning into a really cool ship too.
Yeah, this is a really cool ship. Like every time that, every time he takes one of our scratches and turns it into something amazing, I'm more and more impressed. I can't wait to see what you do with my yellow submarine.
That's gonna be interesting.
It is. Especially because you helped advise that one.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is, okay, we have that thing over there. We're gonna leave that thing down there. We're absolutely doing this thing over here. Oh, we got a number alert.
Oh.
No, public safety alert. Shut up, safety alert. I'm at home already.
Maybe pay attention to that. Yeah, if it's telling you to stay home, good. But otherwise.
Yeah, I'm at home. I'm sad already. Stop it. Oh my god, it's difficult.
Are we doing shading now?
Nah, I'm just trying to understand what I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like how those balls interact with the hull underneath them. I think
every now and then I had to clarify. I put some extra attention into certain things because otherwise, I don't know. I lose track.
Okay. Chat, just so you know, the reason I'm not reading all of your suggestions out to Hector is that he's already working pretty hard from his own brain and mine and Thomas's thoughts. I think throwing everybody else's thoughts at him right now would probably be a lot. But I appreciate the suggestions. A lot of them have been good.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Dunk.
Bubba Hotep, we're working on upgrading the graphics to the game all the time. I don't think you'll ever see like a major full overhaul of everything in the game that drops all at once. But what you will see is a lot of updates here and there. There's some really interesting things we're doing right now. And we talked about something in the Leeds meeting this morning that's really exciting graphically. But, those things will come out here and there as we go. As we have time to upgrade stuff to the standards that we have now, as opposed to, a texture pack that changes everything in the game.
And what we find, what I found at least, as we've upgraded ships, is that the core technology in general is pretty competent. It's just that now that we have bigger, more intensive budgets, bigger polygon, triangle budgets and texture budgets, what we can do, and also just the fact that we were more skilled at our jobs because we've been doing it for 10 years. What we can do now is just better than what we could do before, and
That's right.
It's not necessarily a technology thing. It's a skill and time and effort thing.
Yeah.
And so we're going to continue to do that. There's some really exciting ship-related things coming out that we teased, and some we have not teased. So,
10 minutes left, Hector.
Yeah. So this is actually a decent.
Yeah, I like how that looks.
Shape.
Mm-hmm.
The trick was letting go the organics and go for the angles. Okay. Let's do that. Let's not forget about the deflector. Let's go and make some.
All right, while you're doing that, Archangel for STO has asked me to talk to RNGesus for him, so I'll just take care of that real quick. Dear RN Jesus, please continue working exactly as intended. Thank you. Amen.
What?
That's brutal.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe give Archangel, I don't know, a break, RN Jesus. Wallace 105 has correctly pointed out that this from the top, this does look a little bit like the Techno Union leader from Attack of the Clones. The Techno Union has one line of dialogue.
Okay, Jesse wants solar panels and research array. All right, so solar panels there because that's gonna be a thing in the future.
And solar panel can really just mean any sort of passive energy collector. Like, who knows what kind of crazy particles they'll be able to collect, measure, and exploit. In the
Star Trek particles.
Jamaharat particles.
What?
What?
I don't know. I think that was a can of. I'm just waiting for. I'm just watching chat now, waiting for them to get that one.
Oh my god. So let's make a quick solar panels here. Let's go crazy and lazy.
Hector, I gotta say, your sound effects are my favorite part of this.
Right, that my wife hasn't get the memo that the window is actually open. All right, let's leave it like that.
Right, let's go. Can we go up to the bridge? We haven't really done anything there.
I have no idea what to do there. It's in the back burner right now.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start with my usual shenanigan, which is repeat the shape that I like the most of this area, which is this guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna repeat the thing. Okay, give me 1 second.
All right.
Let me close the window.
Okay. Thomas and I will now sing a duet
right.
from Oh He's Back. Okay.
Window closed. Woo! So, any plans for the bridge? How are we gonna do it? I ask you because I had no idea.
I think we need to figure out a way to keep the big. I like that there are big windows. I think there's something we need to figure out how to do that without making it look like a fighter. I think that's going to be an important part of this design. It's I think you're on the right track in terms of it's obviously there's like a crease there. Like it comes out at a very hard edge. This makes me think of there's a Star Wars ship called the Marauder Corvette that this kind of reminds me of.
Oh yeah.
But it's a pretty obscure ship, so I don't think most people know what I'm talking about.
Oh, such a hipster.
2 minutes, Hector.
It's like a ship, but you're not gonna know about it. It's alright. It's alright. Don't stress yourself.
This is wildly off-brand for this stream, but I was thinking about this last night. Now that they're re-releasing all of these old great Star Wars games on Switch, can someone put Rogue Squadron on Switch, please?
Oh man,
please.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. Continue with what you were saying.
One thing actually that I think would help it not feel like a fighter is if we don't have windows from the top.
Yes.
The windows.
No, these are not windows. This is space filler. I don't know how to tell.
Yeah, panels, whatever.
Space filler, from space.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Why this is not responding? Why don't you do what I tell you, machine?
Because you didn't talk nicely enough to it.
It's maximum overdrive all over again.
No.
So, let me see.
How would a Cintiq kill you?
Just disappear my stylus in a time of need.
It would draw your future like those old Goosebumps books.
Oh, jeez.
Yes, that's exactly it. All right, this one right here is garbage, so we're gonna cut it right there.
See, that's what Thomas was talking about being hard on yourself.
Oh man, you have to be brutal, because if you're not brutal with yourself, somebody's gonna be anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we shouldn't. Yes, there's levels of brutality, but I know what you mean.
You had to put your mind in a place where like people are not gonna care about my stuff, and then you had to generate skin, because you're gonna get so many rejection letters, man.
Oh yeah.
I had hundreds of rejection letters. I'm not kidding, hundreds.
Not to mention, if you just put your stuff on the internet.
because if you're good at your stuff, you have to be good at the stuff they need.
Right.
The company needs. It's not. That's the brutal part of this thing. Huh? This is actually. I think I know what we need here. One second. Give me one more.
I'm looking up a bunch of people in chat are saying it looks like the O'Neill class from Stargate, and I do not remember what that looks like, so I'm going to look it up.
Oh, that IP. Such a shame.
It's such a shame.
Yeah, because it's like this is the possibilities, man, and he fell in a
cool.
in a political hole, in
Yeah.
In the
studio. I can
studio.
kind of see what they're talking about. It does have a little bit of that O'Neill class shapes. It's got the fin on the back anyway.
What are these things? I don't know what are these things. I'm just gonna leave them here. Maybe we use them, maybe we don't.
I like it.
But
I actually don't think that stinks. I think that adds something to it.
Yeah, because that tells me that this gigantic block doesn't end abruptly here.
Yeah.
It just see like a molar or something.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well, then let's call this ship here, and we can always do a side drawing as as you're cleaning up this week. But
this one will have a pretty interesting side profile. You see,
he's
got like a big keel.
Yeah.
Going down there, so there's some interesting things to work with.
But that's a really cool start.
So this is why I usually start with the top views, because the top view is that's what sells the ship.
Yeah.
Usually that's it. This is the top. It's like a car. So and then another thing is that we can start tweaking like this. We can tweak and we can do stuff like that. We can do many things if we
have the time.
Yeah.
Right now we don't. So
are we done?
Yeah, we're done with this one.
Yeah,
so let's.
Boo!
I know. I'm sorry. You're out of time.
Jesse, save. Okay. Bye.
And then let's jump on to my ship.
Let's do that.
Let's do it.
Jesse. All right.
I haven't looked at my drawing since I did it, so I'm prepared to be shockingly embarrassed here. It's not. Duh. The side view is better than the top view. My God.
It's all right.
This will be the most organic looking one, I think.
Yeah.
You think
Hector and I were really going for whale stuff with this.
I know. We like shark whale or something like that.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do from the get-go, which side do we like the most? Okay. We like that the most. So we're gonna cut.
And then I'm gonna duplicate it. Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. Okay, the side. The side's gonna be like this. Just like a penguin.
It is kind of penguin-y.
Yeah. All right, let's tackle one problem at a time. Okay, let's do this.
I don't think you interpreted problem the way Hector meant it.
No,
I mean,
I know. Don't worry.
Every design is a problem.
Oh yeah. That's it.
Don't worry. I was just laughing because it was funny, not because
Yeah,
of my
sometimes I
deeply
forget
hurt
that.
feelings.
No, sometimes I forget that not
People?
everyone has that same. We've taken so many critiques in life that we're like, yeah, whatever. But not everybody is like that.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. What do we want to keep?
So there's, if you remember correctly, the 3 domes are 3 different biospheres. So it's like beach, forest, and like a storm.
All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a swooping line. There.
Ooh.
We're gonna swooping line.
You know,
lines?
this almost has like a. There's a possibility to go kind of retro with this, like old like 50s.
Oh yeah, this has
Yeah.
pulpy all over.
I think that's why it kind of the side view kind of ended up looking like the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea ship because it's
Right.
it does have that kind of retro feel.
And then this shape we recycle. There. Stay there. and then this we recycle here.
Oh. People in chat are just chanting Captain Proton, Captain Proton. Someday, guys. Someday we'll have the time. Someday we'll have the time.
I've been wanting that for a while too. Let me tell you.
We want to do that holodeck expansion, guys. We want to do it so bad, but man, that would be a lot of time.
Yeah, a lot of work.
We'd have to make everything.
Yes, that's the one thing, and I kid you not, that if I ever had the chance to work with Kate Mulgrew, that's what I wanted to do. What was the name? Arachna or something like that?
Yeah, Queen Arachnia.
Queen Arachnia, yeah.
I think that's right.
Something funny like that instead of something serious like, I'm the captain of a ship. No, let's just have fun with this lady.
I think we when we lean into comedy, I mean, we shouldn't do it all the time, but when we lean into comedy and STO, we tend to do a pretty good job of it, I think. If Quark's Lucky 7 is anything to go by.
All right, let's see what's going on here. We have a shape. This being squeezed. This means that this thing is... This thing is supposed to be not a bubble, more like a side donut, pretty much. Oh my god, a donut. When can I get a donut? Damn it, I want to...
Krispy Kreme delivers.
There's a donut place across the street from my house. I might run over there tomorrow morning now that you've mentioned it.
Do they deliver beer? Oh my god.
That's what I miss, is getting donuts on Mondays and Fridays.
Oh my god.
Oh god, I've forgotten about the bagels.
That's how I used to know it was a Friday, man.
Yeah.
Yes, there's donut.
Now time has no meaning.
I know. It's like going back to freelancing again. I hate it. I hated freelancing just because of that.
Yeah, I was never very good at it. I like the structure that we have of having an actual job instead of having to,
Man, talking to people at least, every now and then, because I can go, I can have a chat, or I don't know, man. Go into the arcade room, kill some aliens or something.
Yeah.
I have a mini arcade here, but it's not the same, buddy.
Yeah.
It's not the same. What are we gonna do when we go back? We gotta make a party or something.
Yeah.
We will have to make a party. Another excuse for us to eat. Critic always finds the excuse. Oh, did I tell you guys that I received some cookies for birthday?
Ooh,
No.
That's awesome.
HR sent me cookies in this box. I was in the window, right, in the kitchen window, and this guy comes, "Hey, Hector." Yes, and he gives me a box. What is this? And I open it.
Full of bees. please.
I opened that thing. It's like, oh, HR sent me. Oh, okay. Finding time to fatten me even at home.
I'm kind of excited for that now, but I'm also really hoping we won't still be doing this in August.
Yeah.
Doing what?
Like working from home and
Man, it's such a. I don't know what to think anymore.
Yeah.
It's just weird. This cannot be a sphere. Geometrically, it's impossible. So I'm gonna roll with it.
All right.
It could be a filleted or chamfered cylinder, like with a really, really round chamfer on it.
Solely, I'm imagining it. This area right here. Wait, let me do another layer. I set up. This area right here, if you look from the 3/4, I imagine that it's more like this.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Like the shield generators in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
And this guy is this guy. This guy is this guy.
Yeah.
That's more or less how. Just because of this area right here has to be
Yeah.
this one right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that. M. Jarbar, or Majarbar, as I say sometimes. There's got to be somebody who's already made Marvin the Martian in STO. Oh, you're saying in Elder Scrolls Online. I don't know why you're putting that in our chat. Okay, never mind then.
Are you guys playing something beside Animal Thingy?
Yeah, I just started Final Fantasy this weekend, so.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm still doing Horizon.
Oh, Horizon.
There's I want to get back into it. There's a really good space flight game from a while ago called Rebel Galaxy Outlaw.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It actually has one of our voice actresses, Lonnie.
No. I mean, good for Lonnie.
She voices the main character in that game. She does a good job.
I'm sure she does. I just laugh whenever I hear Lonnie because she voices like so many characters in STO.
Yeah,
And, the content that I wrote for Champions, she voiced both the main hero and the main villain. All right, what are we doing here, Hector? Talk to us while you draw.
We're trying to. Sorry, man.
Oh no, it's okay.
I'm trying to. I keep doing this thing. I don't even know what am I clicking to do that. Going for the engine areas, looking for a way to integrate the shapes of the engine with the rest of the ship.
Yeah.
Because the thing about paper can take anything you throw at it. But I had to foresee the problems. Say, for example, this guy right here, how does it interact? See? Now I had to make this thing work like this.
Right, you have to think about where these two shapes intersect. What does that cross section look like?
Yeah. Because see, this is what I'm doing. This area right here is this one right here, but it has to fold and kind of hug this whole thing right here. So I had to preview those kind of things. Now we delete this guy.
Mima Ranglout, I don't know. I wasn't in the most recent patrol as a voice actor. The only voice acting I've done in STO, because it's a SAG game, is the background singing in To Hell with Honor.
All right, so let's put this thing here. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. Suddenly I'm in a loop, and I had to understand. Sometimes you figure out that you're in a design loop, and then you have to break it and leave it. Let it. Oh, what just happened? Okay, I see. I have a Sorry, guys. I have this mechanical keyboard, and sometimes I typing something, and the key just goes like boop, and it just pops out. All right, we got there.
Firefly00 was asking if we can get Event Horizon in STO. I think Event Horizon more lives in the Expanse these
Too
days.
spoopy.
Too spoopy?
Yeah.
What?
The Event Horizon?
Oh, the ship?
No, the movie from the 90s.
Yeah, the ship in the movie is called
Oh, yeah.
Event Horizon.
Oh yeah.
What
okay.
about it?
They want it in STO. It's too spoopy.
It's too spoopy.
Well, okay, define spoopy.
Spooky,
Yes, Thomas,
scary.
define spoopy.
Spooky. I understood spoopy or something like that. I was
And
like,
that's
what
That's what I
is
said. That's
That
what
it's a meme. It's a meme, Hector. It's a meme the kids are doing from the
my
internet.
God.
today's teens.
Hello, how do you do, fellow kids?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, Hector, don't forget that beautiful viewing area that we designed on the back fin of this guy.
I'm
with the
trying.
chairs and the
I
stairs.
have it in the. I have it in the back burner because the thing is that this thing is shaped like this, and from the top it's gonna look more or less the same. So I had to squeeze that. I don't think it's gonna be this big. It has to be to conform to this line. It's gonna have to conform
I
to
would
this line.
expect it to be pretty much the same size as the dome and.
To create some variation, I'm gonna have to make it like this.
Okay.
Oh my god! I was telling Jane at the office. Jane. Oh my god! Yeah. So Jen. I was telling her I was in Puerto Rico, right, visiting my family, and I have a nephew. He's a teenager. So what I did was I took all those. Now that you mentioned all those teenager slang, or whatever, and I started talking like that, but the wrong way. Just to mess with him.
Oh
and
man,
it was glorious.
that does sound glorious.
It was so cringeworthy. I was telling her, and she was actually cringing of mine. Yeah, weaponized thing slam. Okay.
Firefly00, I've pitched a couple of times the idea of just as a temporary stopgap until we can actually do the big Halloween event we want, doing a Halloween event that involves running several of our scary episodes instead of just Hearts and Minds. I don't know if that'll ever go anywhere. I sent an email and got zero response back, so that usually means it's not going nowhere.
That sounds like no, not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. Okay, I didn't.
What have you done, Hector?
Yeah. Well, let's make this thing there. Boop. Pop.
Really, honestly, we should update the April Fool's sounds to include Hector. Like we gotta put all of Hector's sounds in this game.
Yep.
Oh man. No, let's not do that. Didn't we do that once and everybody was so nice? Oh my god, you got shut up.
There we go.
You could always try turning your webcam off and back on again and see if that fixes it.
I mean, yeah.
I still doubled, Thomas.
Yep. Still split.
It's really having trouble with his decision making. Nope, that did nothing.
Oh man. Okay, let me put this other sphere here inside. Let me see if I can rescue this sphere-ness. Let me put this thing as a reminder.
That was a good book, Sphere.
Yeah, that's from Michael Crichton, right?
Yeah. When you get to 2 hours and 3 minutes of stream, that's when Mike starts to put in those real good observations. Oh, he mentioned Sphere. I'll mention a book with the same name.
Uh-huh. That was a book that was written by a man.
Yep. Deep thoughts.
Gotta love that align tool.
Yeah, we're aligning, and now we're gonna...
I don't think I've used it before. I'm gonna have you give me a tutorial sometime.
What, the align?
Yeah.
It's super useful, man.
Yeah, basically it just spaces things out evenly between the outermost elements.
Yeah.
Also, I'm real curious, and don't go into too much detail on it now, but I see people do this on drawing streams all the time. I'm curious how you guys are choosing what won't be erased when you do big eraser strokes like that.
Usually layer control, man.
Okay. You just got a lot of keystrokes going to get that working?
No, erasing parts of the composition.
Yeah.
Well, you just have something sorted in layers.
Okay.
If you
Right,
put
it's only erasing from the active layer.
Yeah, it only erases from the layer that is active, as Thomas said. All right, so let's put this thing there. This is gonna be a big challenge to do in 3D because some of the shapes that I'm putting here, I don't think we'll be able to replicate during the blocking. If we do, we're gonna have to do some adjustments.
For sure.
Well,
as we told every single artist, we're these designs are our designs, but everything will probably change.
it's a conversation. Hey, I got this idea. It's a bad idea. It's a good idea. We'll see about that.
Yeah, there are no bad ideas or good ideas, just ideas that we're working on more.
Yeah, that's how it is, man.
Now Thomas is being downloaded into Tron.
Yeah, I don't know what. I'll try it again.
Are you in the grid, Thomas?
The grid.
I guess I'm at least not in Tron anymore. I'm in Portal.
You gotta then put the other arm around and reach. So you're like, there you go.
Thomas, you gotta make a circle with like cardboard or something and paint it like a portal, and use it. You have to. Oh, it's on. We had to do that. So, how you guys doing?
My butt hurts and my back hurts, but I'm doing good.
Oh, okay. We're finishing somebody.
No, it's okay. Take the time you need to do this artistically. We have to make sure this ship looks the best. I mean, all of the ships get a fair chance. This definitely, what you've drawn now, definitely really gets across the whole luxury thing that I was trying for. So I really appreciate that. This looks like a ship that you'd have to pay a lot of money for.
Yep. I think one thing that might look cool for the fins is maybe there's a maybe they're not quite as curvy. They come out and hit an angle pretty soon, and then at where they hit an angle, they flare out into nacelles. The side fins.
That's the moment when I require you doing a drawing.
Right.
Because I don't know what you're saying. Okay, this is... Okay. You wanted to create some area here. Okay, let's continue with the bubble motif. Okay, let's...
All right. Keep the monitor right there. Okay. Thanks.
Are taking a screenshot or something?
Yeah, I just did. I'm fine.
Awesome.
Are you tweeting out what we're doing?
Huh? No, I wanted to
The
draw
revision.
talking about
Oh.
the suggestion I had.
Yeah, guys, we do this all the time. Sometimes I send a lot of designs for these people, and they just draw away. Sometimes I give them the 3D model, and they just sculpt something on top. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not good. Maybe we use it, maybe we don't. But ideas are always welcome. We definitely need something there. Because we have this arrow pointing here.
And there's nothing there to point at.
And there's nothing to point at.
Yeah.
Which is something I really dislike when I see some designs. When they put tons of lines and pointing to one direction and there's nothing there. Oh.
Yeah.
It's unnerving.
All those lines pointing at that boy band. I know what you mean.
Yeah. Oh man. Let's see. That thing goes there. That thing
That is
goes
really
there.
cool.
Yeah, we had to find ways like. All right. Let's put this thing here and let's recycle this line a little bit. Maybe as a starting point. Not necessarily has to be completely. See, but the line itself is telling
yeah,
us
that's cool.
where should we go. See how slowly we're going back to the whale motif without being completely brute about it.
Yeah.
You know, we have to be like, oh, this is supposed to look nice. Some. If we go to in that direction, we have to make some lines on top of the pictures.
Well, remember, there's a if you look at the side view, there is a like center rail going through the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna go there soon. Okay.
All right.
Side.
Oh,
Talking about this.
Yeah, it's got that kind of centered rail going over the top. You see that?
Got it. So this whole section.
Yep.
Splits. So it splits the bubble.
It goes over the bubble was my original design, but do with it what you will.
No, this is actually fine, because what we're gonna do. Okay, we have that information.
Oh, I hate to tell you, Hector. 4 minutes left.
It's okay. I hope this gave people an idea of how this thing works.
Yeah, dude. I think it's been a really, really fascinating stream.
It's and sometimes we do this whole process and we decide, you know what, that ship doesn't work like that. We had to go back to square one.
Yeah.
It has happened. It has happened, you know.
Oh, for sure. As long as it
said
has, the right lines to it.
Yeah. That's usually the moment when I stand up from my desk, go grab a coffee, play in the arcade.
Go cry in a corner for an hour.
And then I go back to the thing. Yeah, it's you have to know exactly when to stop.
Yeah.
When to have a walk, and because otherwise, it doesn't work.
There's only been a few days, but there's been some days that I have taken a walk right out the door and not come back.
It happens.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes you are like, man, no ideas are coming to my head, and then suddenly you go home, and the next day you come into the office, boom, 15 minutes done.
Yep.
That all the time too.
Q Cullen says that he thinks the stream makes it clear that Hector works so fast he must have tons of spare time. Uh-huh.
Well, keep in mind when we're doing these, the Hector is doing 30 or 40 or 50 of these before we settle on a direction.
I'm pretty sure Q Cullen was kidding, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I also wanted just to make that point that, like, it's not that he just draws one and everybody's like, okay, cool, that's what we're gonna do. It's
Oh hell no.
It's dozens.
Yeah, and it's weeks and weeks of meetings to figure it out too.
Yeah, it can be. All right, so how can I share this with you?
Just throw it in Teams, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna see if I could actually do it in the Discord chat.
Oh yeah, you probably can.
Well, you're gonna show me something?
Yeah.
His idea for the back
alright.
fin.
All right, let's do that. Show it to me. Do. Oh, I see. Ah, okay. Yeah, let me.
Unfortunately, we cannot see it.
No, you're gonna see it now.
Okay.
Oh, wait a second. I did it wrong. Oh, my life is a lie. Okay. And now, boink. So what we're gonna do?
Okay, I see. Neat.
Yeah, and however Hector makes it good, but like you get the idea now of how the fin can blend into the engine, and that's actually pretty much how the Galaxy Quest engines on the Protector work.
Yeah. That's gonna make it look even more retro, which I like.
Yeah, if you're going for retro, yeah, this is it.
Oh boys.
But it can still get. I mean, one of the things I was trying to show is that it can still blend in from the bottom, right? Or blend in from the like. There's still a part of it that is seamless with the engine. You could either do it from the bottom or from the top.
I can put it right here.
But then you get. But then it still becomes a discrete pod.
Piece. Yeah.
Got it. So what we can do? We can tie.
Oh, that's neat. That's really neat.
This can tie over here.
Everyone should have an instance in their life where they can force a good artist to take their terrible drawings and make them look good. Everyone should have this feeling of, yeah, that looks great.
Yeah, it's called movie directors.
Exactly.
I did do that for a while.
What, directed movies?
Yeah,
It's,
I'm a film and stage director in my spare time. I thought I was going to be a film director as a career, but there's a lot in that world that I'm not interested in.
And you'll find the ones that work the best with artists are the ones who generally just sort of understand that the people they're working with are professionals too.
Yeah.
And don't micromanage them.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how you work with actors.
Ew.
You get a good
This is
performance out of an
terrible.
actor by by getting them to come to the idea themselves.
Right.
Yep. I would say that if you're a general, right, like a war general, you're in the hill, and you have your archers, right, and you have the best archers in the world. You have the best ones. All you have to do is point, and they'll shoot.
Right.
You don't grab the bow from them. You recognize that they are actually better than you at shooting arrows. Some people just don't get that simple concept. They seem to believe that I'm the boss, I know more than everyone. That's not it.
In general, I've been lucky to work with art leads who are pretty good about that.
Yeah, I would say Cryptic is in general pretty good about that. There's not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They seem to get people into management who aren't crazy grabbers.
Yeah, and I actually feel manage where it's like you're worried if you're too hands off that you're not actually doing your job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I try to like temper that as much as I can with like, no, do I actually need to make, like, there are conversations that happen we have a chat for our ship design team, where Hector posts images and people give feedback and stuff, and sometimes I never say anything, and I'm like, should I be saying more? It's like, well, I don't need to say anything because Ian is saying stuff and Donnie's saying stuff, and generally I agree with what people are saying, so I don't necessarily feel like I have to have my voice heard every time.
Usually I worry when I don't hear Ian talking. That's what worries me.
This is by far the most pretentious thing I'll ever say publicly, but I like to base my theory on how to direct on. There's a line in the Tao Te Ching. Like I said, it's the most pretentious thing I've ever said publicly. But there's a line in there that says, like, when the master's work is done, the people say, "Wow, we did it all by ourselves." And I think that's kind of how you be a really good leader.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting thing about leadership is you're like, oh God, I'm manipulating people, but for good reasons.
Right. Yeah, you're manipulating them to get their best out of them without making them feel like crap. And that's like a lot of people don't get that in management. They think you have to like really stomp your feet and growl and make people feel terrible.
I don't know.
And it doesn't work.
This is not Japan.
Is that what it's like in Japan? I've never worked there. Oh.
Man, you see people on the street and they look like they've been destroyed full day long. Yeah, love that place, but damn, I wouldn't work there for anything.
Ryan seems to have a lot of good memories of working there, but
well, that's good for him, Ryan. Because there's so many drunk people sleeping on the street.
Yeah. Okay, I really like that. Hector, you're amazing. That's really cool.
No. So we have.
So we're at a little bit over what our time was supposed to be for this. Why don't we put all of the ships next to each other that we've done today for a final look at?
Damn it! Okay, I gotta put some crazy glue on these keys. They keep flying everywhere. Why, guys? Okay. What's up with the hate? Okay. Let me. Oh, what do you know? Save us. What's the name of this guy?
Mike.
I'm right here. Jeez.
All right, let's see. Oh, nothing is working. Even my Photoshop art is falling into pieces. Here, stay there. So, at least we're not working in 3D maps. 3D maps will be like crashing. Oh, I gotta do the side view. This is gonna be interesting to do.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what you do with that.
So yeah, because that's why I was like, okay, this is gonna be a lot because I don't think we're gonna be able to do everything.
No, and we knew that would happen, but
yeah,
it's pretty cool nonetheless.
Yeah, usually the top and the side views is where you want to put your energy at the beginning of this thing.
Yeah.
Hector, you should send this out to the team daily screenshots.
Oh yeah, please do.
Email distro.
All right.
We're missing Jesse's, I think.
Christian's. Jesse's the one on the bottom.
Oh, we're missing Christian. That's right.
Okay, this is a complex shape, so let me. Now it's easier.
Nice. Very nice. All right. Well, Hector, thank you so much for sharing all of your awesome artistic talent with us today and all the insights on how you do this stuff. And thank you, Thomas, for giving us some more insight and helping with the hosting duties. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I hope we can do this more soon. We've got a lot of cool stuff we're working on, and
I think there'd be a lot of fun stuff to do this with. Yeah. And folks, thank you guys very much for joining us. I hope you had a good time.